What's up, guys? I already forgot what I want to say. So today I decided we're finally gonna do the brakes and rotors for the car. I have it sitting on the side right here, and I got the brakes and rotors in this box. So as usual, we've never done brakes and rotors before, but just gonna go ahead and do it. Got our master engineer. He's gonna be tuning the Speed 6, you know. So what kind of adjustments are you gonna be doing?
Right now I'm changing the tire size.
What?
And then after that I'll be fixing the tint.
Stupid.
And yeah, should run a lot smoother.
Alright, cool. If you need any help, hit up Alex from Maui. FYI.
Maui Alex.
He's never even been to Hawaii.
Wow. Why throw me under the bus like that? If you want to send us to Hawaii, like this video right now.
Alright, anyways, enough talk. So I ordered the brakes and rotors through R1 Concepts. Here are the brake pads. And over here are the rotors. But bam. They look kind of neochrome.
Looks pretty sick.
I went with a gold option. I don't know. Just for shits and giggles, I guess. But here it is.
Damn, they look hella sick.
Slotted rotors. And here's the other one, and the other one, and the last one. And what kind of brake pads did I go with? Oh, I think I just went with like OEM brake pads. It says R1 Optimum OE. Alright, so what we've decided to do first is I think we're going to change the driver's side brakes and rotors first off camera, just so we have an idea of how to do it. Once we get to the passenger side, so then we'll be able to film it and show you guys.
The next day.
So this is day 2. We did this side last night instead, and we got everything done. So now we have an idea of how to do it. It got too dark after we finished it, so we decided to continue it today. We're gonna be doing the fronts first, and then we're gonna move on to the rears. All right, so for the tools, so obviously, okay. Fuck. Shit.
Fuck. Shit. Bitch.
So for the brakes and rotors, obviously we're gonna need the rotors. This is gonna be the front. This is the rears. As you can see, the rears are slightly thinner. And then obviously your brake pads for the front and back. A mallet for the rotors because they're most likely gonna be stuck on there. 17 and 14 mil wrench. Brake pad spreader or caliper piston compressor. Got it for like 10 bucks at O'Reilly's. Some PB blaster, some brake clean to clean the rotors, and that should be it. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put some PP blaster. I'm gonna just put it like right here, just so it soaks in. While I'm taking out the calipers, I'll let that soak in, so it should be a lot easier to remove the rotor. So there's gonna be 2 bolts on the calipers. They're 14, size 14. I think we're gonna take out this one so it like opens up like a clam. And then in the back, there's gonna be 2 17 mil bolts. Now that we got that bolt out,
So,
there we go. While I'm at it, I'm just gonna take out the brake pads too. Pro tip, don't let the caliper hang on its brake line. Just grab a zip tie and like zip tie it to the coil or something. So I got the caliper secure. I think there's a lot of life left in these brake pads. They're pretty thick, but I don't know. Always seem to make like some type of noise every time I step on it. I don't know. I don't know too much about brakes, but I mean there's like ridges in here and whatever. Might as well. I'm just gonna grab the mallet and just hit it. Make sure your car is in neutral. Everyone knows what PB blaster is.
PB blaster?
Know,
then you probably don't have a rusty piece of shit like this. Show them what's up. Show them what's up. You just put a dislike on your video. Beat him up. He says Celicas are trash. Beat him up.
So I can't get this rotor off. I think we need to call for backup. Be right back. All right, I got Arm & Hammer here. Your boy doesn't have shop towels, but I got this rag. I'm just gonna clean the rotor. And then don't forget the backside.
Shout out to R1 for the sponsorship.
These give 10 extra horsepower. Just gonna put a lug nut in there just to hold it in place while we put the brake pads in. So I'm gonna put the bolt in first just so it holds in place, and put the bottom one in. Okay, holy shit, I think I'm sweating. Am I sweating? I'm sweating. Basically what I did was, once you get the rotors in, you know, just have a lug nut, make sure it's in place. And then what I did was, I just put the two 17 mil bolts back in to hold the caliper in. So I left this little like clamshell opening thing. I think it's probably best if I left this one in and then have it open like that, because now the brake line's kind of like in the way. Oh well, whatever. Now we're just gonna compress the piston right here with this metal ring, and to do so we're gonna use this tool and make sure your brake fluid reservoir is open so it relieves the pressure. And basically how it works is this tool, this part is going to push the piston in. So now I got the piston compressed. Brake pads should just slide in real easily. I went ahead and just unscrewed the whole thing because I couldn't get the thing to open all the way. Probably should have unscrewed that one and left this one in. Oh, there we go. All right, now that we got both brake pads in, all we gotta do is put this back over. So this is what I meant by like, I should have left this bolt in so I could basically just open it like this. As you can see, like I could have the whole axis in there instead of just taking the whole thing apart. Oh well, whatever, no big deal. Okay, so I just got everything tightened up, and let's move on to the rears. So we're on the rears now. Supposedly the rears are a little bit more easy. Okay, so there's literally just two 14 size bolts to take off the caliper, and then the brake pads are held in by these like little wire thingies that we'll just use some pliers to take out, and then these two rods that go through both of the brake pads onto the other side of the caliper that holds the brake pads in place. Oh, there we go. So now we got the caliper off. All right, so I put the caliper in the back just to hold it there so it's not hanging by the brake line. For the rear rotors, make sure the e-brake is off. Oh, and then use some brake clean on the rotors. In like this, and then just pull the e-brake up to hold the rotor in place. There's going to be a total of 3 like pins or whatever you want to call them, these wires. 2 over here, 1 on here, and as you can see it loops into this rod. So basically just take that out, take this out, should be able to remove the rods. All right, it's just like that. Same thing, just pull it out. So like that, the 2 ends loop into the holes. Just set that aside, make sure you don't lose it. And the same thing for these ones, except it's only one side. Except this one goes under the rod, it doesn't go through it. There we go, set that aside. There you go. Alright, now that's just like that. And now you can pull these rods out. And the brake pads just fall right out. And then as you can see, there's this piston that we're gonna have to compress again. Make sure your brake fluid reservoir is open. So I have the rear brake pads right here. There's some differences for the ones in the rear. One of them has like this little metal clip. This one's gonna be the one that goes on the inside, and this one's on the outside. It's gonna go like this. So the metal clip is gonna be on the inside. So I'm gonna first put the caliper back in. We just figured out the best way to do is once you put these bolts in, don't tighten them in all the way so you can still have space to move it around. So that way you can fit the brake pads in. The brake pads are going to be loose. That's where you put the rods in. I should probably clean this first. I'm going to clean this with some brake clean real quick. So I just put everything back together, everything in reverse order. Got the little wiring, the wire pin thingies. Got the rods back in, got the 2 bolts in the back in. And now the last step to do is to just go inside the car and just pump on the brake pedals. And that should be it. So we finished putting in the rotors in. The wheel's a little bit dirty, but you can see how the gold rotors look. Give you a better view.